Okay, it looks like we have the band on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Welcome. How are you?
We're great. We just got it on the app here. We're doing like a speaker setup with the three of us. It sounds okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay. Cool.
Amazing. Can we get an introduction for the people that are joining us? Who do we have on the line?
Yeah, sure. This is Daniel. I'm the singer in the band Joywave from Rochester, New York.
Ooh.
And I am Paul, and I play drums.
Paul, where are you from?
Rochester, New York. Thank you for
Awesome.
asking.
And I am Joey, also from Rochester, and I play guitar.
Awesome. Welcome. How are you guys today? I feel like I already asked that, but like I didn't get it from everyone.
We're great. We just had lunch. We rehearsed this morning, and yeah.
I actually just had a garbage plate, which anyone on the call from Rochester will know is actually the most Rochester thing that you can possibly do before a call. So
What is a garbage plate?
a garbage plate is a Rochester hometown food tradition that involves macaroni salad, French fries, two hamburgers on top of that with meat sauce, and which meat sauce is like how do you guys describe meat sauce?
It's not even really like a sauce.
It looks like a sloppy Joe or something, but it doesn't taste like that.
Yeah, kind of. But
and then there's mustard on top. Yeah, it's a thing. It's easily Googleable for anyone who wants to make one at home.
I'm gonna Google it, but the macaroni salad is on top.
It's on the bottom.
It's like the meat is actually on top, so it's like a bed of macaroni salad and French fries with the meat on top.
That sounds like
sounds correct. That sounds is the right answer.
Well, awesome. So how did you guys get started as a band? I know about the hoodies. I actually saw it in concert. So, but
wow, where at?
I don't. It was a while ago, so it was somewhere in LA. Yes, it was somewhere in LA. It was with an ex-boyfriend. So honestly, block that part out. But I remember loving it.
Sure. So yeah, we all played in local bands together. Growing up, we all went to high school together. We're all from the same suburb of Rochester, Greece. And yeah, we did the hoodies for a bunch of years together with another guy who is long gone now, but it didn't work, and nobody liked us outside of like the 5 mile radius of our homes. And we started doing this band in about 2010, kind of with the understanding and acceptance that we had already failed. So, our last band kind of like fit into like a Jimmy World kind of mold where it was like pop rock kind of, but like two guitars, a bass, drums, very traditional rock instrumental. And kind of the idea when we started this band was, well, let's not put any limit on ourselves. Let's not try to fit any mold because it's not going to work anyway. And in doing that, kind of, we ended up at a place that was a lot more real to us and a lot more authentic. And people started to show up when we did that.
That's amazing. And I wouldn't say that nobody liked you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so let's get down. There are a lot of people saying like shout out from Rochester.
Hey,
Wow.
Just so you know, there's also a shout out from Alabama.
Okay.
I feel like not the same. So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about your new album coming out and about your tour.
So we put out our fourth record this year called Cleanse, which came out in February. And that was kind of a reaction to our third record came out on March 13th, 2020. Bad day to release an album. And I know a lot of bands did like virtual concert kind of things with the downtime. We just kind of didn't like that idea. So we buckled down and just headed back into the studio and used the time to to make another record. And then this Friday, we put out our first live record, which is called Live, which is deliberately confusing to anyone reading it. And that is kind of like, honestly, it's just the set we played in the spring on our headline tour for the new record, but it's a 21 song live album. It's 79 minutes, which is way too long. I would never listen to an album that was 79 minutes for the record. To anyone who does, good for you though, and we appreciate it. And then that's coming to vinyl later this year.
Amazing. So you released the day of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then you also recorded during the pandemic. How was that? And how was the pandemic for you?
Honestly, like for us personally, it was fine. And I, like, it's the kind of thing where like you feel bad saying it because so many people suffered and lost so much. And obviously there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people who aren't with us anymore. You know, for us, it was a break in the touring schedule that was kind of mandated that we wouldn't have had otherwise. Like we were probably gone like for more than half the year since about 2014. So it was a chance to slow down. And even when we were on tour in Europe when the virus broke out. So I remember riding around in for that tour and just like feeling motion sick and doing all the travel and the early flights and stuff and thinking, wow, this is terrible. And the pandemic kind of showed us, I think, like, you know, to be grateful because those things can obviously go away. And also just like without the downtime, like we never had a chance to reflect, like, you know, we're people from the suburbs of Rochester, New York, who probably never would have gone to these places. I mean, like couldn't have afforded to like go to these places, all the things that we've gotten to see. So it definitely gave us a new perspective and made us appreciative, I think. Yeah. And that, I mean, obviously that's again, like, you know, trying to find a silver lining in a really terrible time on the planet.
Of course, that totally makes sense. So tell us a little bit about what went into your recording process. I think there are a lot of people fascinated by that, especially just, you know, you've been together for so long. Do you always agree?
I don't know. Like most of the time we do. Like I'm the songwriter, so I usually like demo things out to a point, and then we get together and we'll listen through some things. And, you know, Paul and Joey will kind of indicate like things that stand out to them, or they're both way better players than I am of the instruments. So, you know, Joey will say, I see what you're trying to do there, but that's terrible. You know, here's how this should actually happen. Or Paul will hear a drum part and say, you know, a person would need 4 arms to play that, the thing that you played on a keyboard. You know, that's not what a drummer would do. And so we kind of work together to straighten those things out. But with the pandemic, I mean, a lot of it had to happen over Zoom because we were recording pre-vaccine. So Joey and I were working on Zoom and like Dropboxing each other files, and Paul and I were able to quarantine successfully for like a week or two and then get together
after some iPhone videos.
Yeah. I mean, we were even like, you know, you were upstairs and I was downstairs, and we were on FaceTime even in the same house to try to like minimize exposure.
Yeah, and we had Joey on FaceTime while we were doing the drum tracks. It was different for sure.
Yeah, it was weird, but we made it work. And I miss being in the same room together. But now that we know that that's possible, like, you know, who knows what we could do for the next time?
We'd be even farther apart.
Yeah,
That's wild. I mean, you know, just doing a Zoom just to like have like a happy hour cocktail was hard enough. I can't imagine putting together like actual music, things that people listen to. That's incredible. So congratulations on that.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, of course. So tell us a little bit about Live. I totally nailed it.
You did. So we've for a long time felt like seeing the band live is a big part of the experience. Because like I think our demeanor is generally pretty lighthearted and not to take ourselves too seriously, but sometimes the songs like get into darker territory or serious topics. And I think that when someone comes to see the band, they understand like the maybe the differences between like the meaning of this song in particular and like the complexity of the personalities. And I think that people who just listen to the music that, you know, it enters their life on a playlist, or maybe they bought the record or something, but haven't come to see the band live, they don't understand that context. So something like, you know, like our song Destruction might make less sense to them, or they say like, well, why is there an album that is only the song Destruction with different titles and things like that. And Live was a chance to, I think, engage people in the area where, you know, where they're spending most of the time with the band, which is like streaming services or a record collection, where we're able to imbue some of that personality, I think, because otherwise it's just this series of like, you know, if you weren't following the band on social media or something, like you might not have like the full picture of who we are. And like, I mean, I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy social media. I like Reddit, but I don't like, you know, the other platforms. Like I think they make people's lives worse. So for anyone listening who doesn't engage us there and has no idea who we are as people, I mean, that's awesome. And now, you know, Live exists, and you can feel what it's like to be at a Joywave concert, you know, on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon or whatever you listen on.
Yeah, there are a couple people. Someone said 17 minutes of like pure amazement. So, and then someone else, I can't pronounce the name, so I'm so sorry. They said that Live is incredible, and they would like to know if there's a UK tour announcement coming.
Man, that is a very pointed and specific question that we should be able to answer right around 10 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. But they would have to check the band's Instagram and Twitter accounts to see that. So I'm not gonna push that.
Perfect. Okay, so do you have, since you're going on tour, tell us a little bit about tour life. Do you have any rituals, any, you know, anything that you do that just makes the tour? Also, I want to know what's in your rider.
I'm gonna turn things over to the king of the rider, Mr. Paul Brenner, right now, who has been in charge of the rider for a full year now.
Yeah, that's definitely a Paul question for sure.
Our rider has practical stuff like AA batteries for the wireless packs, you know, Tums
for the gurgles.
Tums for the heartburn challenge.
Got like emergency,
really wild stuff.
Fruit.
Hot dogs, which, you know, we're being asked about
Hot dogs,
rituals on tour.
I bought a hot dog roller this spring. It's pretty cool.
It's a hot dog roller. Oh,
you ever
like
been outside, like a gas
7-Eleven?
station?
Yeah,
like in a 7-Eleven. Yeah, roller dogs, glizzies, if you will.
So you bring that on tour? Now
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
pretty small.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's confusing or surprising to you.
No, it's not. I mean,
No,
you're right.
I'm
Total
kidding.
normal.
It's absolutely a bizarre thing. I think what happened was our bass player for the live show, Kevin, had he got a targeted ad from Home Depot for an Oscar Mayer hot dog roller, and he showed it to Paul, and Paul said, "I'm going to buy that right now." Paul doesn't like to travel more than what's your radius distance from a venue?
Well, it depends. Depends what's near it.
He will say he likes to stay, you know, on the bus or in the green room for the day. So having hot dog access, you know, 24/7 on the bus was too good to pass up, I think.
I mean, everybody liked to make fun of it until I was passing out hot dogs, and everybody was loving it.
Now everybody's your best friend. It's like a pack of gum in high school.
Also, it worked out quite nicely because sometimes when, especially when you're headlining, you get off stage and it's almost midnight. I mean, good luck trying to find food at that hour. So the hot dog roller has saved
That's
my
very true.
stomach multiple times.
True. Okay, so then just to veer off really quick, let's get into your first debate. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No,
No.
No.
not at all.
Interesting. Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, debate
Yeah.
over.
You're right. Okay. And okay. Fair enough. I'm a little disappointed that there was no, back and forth, but it's totally cool.
No, a hot dog is closer to a sausage than a sandwich.
What's the difference between a hot dog and a sausage?
Well, one is
I mean, like meat-wise, I get that, but
hot dogs are basically just bologna.
yes.
Yeah. Whereas a sausage is like a whole bunch of meat and fat put into a casing. Usually it's like a cacophony of different
Trimmings,
types
I
of
think
meat.
they call it. Right? Yeah.
Real gross stuff.
You're selling them to me. Okay. Where's your favorite place to tour?
I'm not a big favorites guy. Like I don't have a favorite food or a favorite anything. There's things I enjoy and things I don't. I would say I like anywhere where they take my lactose intolerance seriously. So Portland is great. Austin is great. Denver's great. Boise is like an under the radar one. Like I really like Boise. Yeah.
Shout out to Boise. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Boise Fry Co.
Boise Fry Co. Where do you guys like to go? The same places, I feel like.
Pretty much same place. I like the way it looks in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. So it's like nice to wake up to that every day. But
I like Seattle a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite though.
Okay. And your favorite thing to eat besides the hot dogs?
I'm a big pizza guy.
Okay. Who has the best pizza?
New York.
New York hands down, but
You guys
Sizzle.
have to say that.
Sizzle Pie in Portland is really, really good New York pizza in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. New York style is the best pizza. You don't have to.
Yeah,
New
I
York
like
style.
that. So you're not deep dish people?
No.
No.
Because you're not monsters.
Yeah,
That's a cake.
I'm with you.
You need a fork and a knife.
I like Chicago deep dish, but you need a fork and a knife to eat it. That's not pizza.
I agree.
That's
So
lasagna.
that it is lasagna, and it's
It's good.
Yeah,
Like,
I will eat it. I enjoy it, but it's just not pizza.
man, the Rochester pizza is the worst though.
Yeah, we have real bad pizza here.
It's just like fluffy, doughy trash.
That's it's New York, though.
That's not entirely true. We have Pizza Wizard here, which is great. And
Yeah, but that's Detroit style pizza.
Oh, gosh, I see what you're saying. Okay, you're saying that Mark's Pizzeria is bad.
Rochester style pizza.
You can't fold it. You can't fold it.
You name dropped a pizza place and said it was bad.
I did. I don't really
It's
have
okay.
issues with saying that Mark's Pizzeria is bad.
Yeah, it's the worst pizza in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So and then Detroit style is the square one, right?
Yeah, I like Detroit
Yeah.
style.
That's pretty much Rochester style too.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
They're very,
no.
very similar
Yeah,
styles of
That's like
pizza.
the sheet pizza thing that we have here, which that's like a Western New York thing, I think,
Yes,
right?
it's very
Sheet
similar
pizza.
to Detroit style.
But I think Detroit style is in a pan, is it not?
Yes, and
Yes.
a lot of
square.
Right, it's square.
a lot of Rochester pizza is cooked in a pan too.
I thought it was just in like in the ovens, like on a what are those called? The stones.
Sure, yeah.
I don't
Wood
even
fire.
know. I like calling anything Rochester style pizza feels wrong to me because it feels unintentional.
I totally agree, but unfortunately, we have Rochester style pizza.
Right, like it's something that like people tried to make pizza here, and then they arrived at something.
Yeah.
And then people bought it, so they were like, "Guess that's
It's-
what we do here."
Yes, it's
Okay.
unintentionally its own style and should
Okay.
be avoided at all costs.
We get
So
lumped into Midwest a lot when it comes to like Western New York culture and even like the accent
Yeah,
they say is more.
Ooh.
Well, it's
Wisconsin.
great. Yeah, it's Great Lakes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Rochester, we're like 6 hours from New York City.
Yeah, it can end up a little. If you've seen the film Fargo, it can end up a little bit that direction.
Give us your best Fargo impression.
I feel like we have for the last 18 minutes so far. Sometimes it slips out, kind of.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Rochester pizza sucks.
I love it. I want you guys to talk like that the rest of the time. So if you're not staying in Rochester for the pizza, what keeps you there?
The pasta.
Friends, family.
Yeah, friends, family. I mean, we're from here. Like, well, I don't know. I know that some people are trying to run away from wherever they started, and I guess we're not. Yeah, family, friends. It's a reasonably we like it here. I mean, it's a great mid-sized city. I always say, whatever you're into, there's 9 other people who also like that. Which, if you're in a big city, you go to a convention and there's 100,000 other people who like whatever it is you like. But I kind of like the there's a tight knit aspect of it, and I mean, I guess there's times where that's not advantageous. Someone will people will butt heads, or there'll be a rivalry that inexplicably develops for no reason. But I think that happens less. That's less frequent than finding friends who also enjoy what you enjoy.
That makes sense. And as someone who still goes to their hometown, I totally get it.
What's your hometown?
Ooh, I don't want to get doxxed. I'm just kidding. I'm outside of Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
But so we do have someone who says that, just to loop it back, a hot dog is actually a taco. Just so you know.
No. I mean,
it's closer to a taco than a sandwich.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, sure, I accept that.
But no, I refuse to believe that, because if I went to anywhere on the West Coast and tried to order a hot dog at a taco shop, I'd be laughed out. So that's not fair.
Yeah, you guys have hot dogs, right? I feel
What's a hot dog?
But you guys have hot dogs, right?
Yeah, we totally have hot dogs. Someone wants to know, how much cereal does Kevin eat while on tour?
Wow. Okay, he's got this whole serial killer identity thing that I've never seen him eat cereal.
Well, because he's lactose intolerant.
He got very health conscious in the last few years and avoids it now. But at one point, legend has it, I mean, he's tried it all. He would have full boxes for breakfast.
He had a famous Instagram account.
Yeah.
About cereal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he kind of stays away from it now, which, good for him. He's more of reach for an apple first thing in the morning kind of guy, or
sure,
make a sandwich,
Yeah. He's
pretty healthy eater.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Daniel.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your social media influencer career.
Oh,
Daniel account?
Yeah. It's called @influence by Daniel. And during the pandemic, I had to pivot like everyone else. So I became a social media influencer. I would say it's going very well. I've been sent things like Tums.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing else. Generally my collabs, #collab, are me deciding to rep a brand and then, hoping they will notice me. But I think that sometimes the things that I like about brands are not the things that they would like the light to be shown on. But I was recently offered $30 to influence for Panera Bread Company in the form of a $30 Panera gift card. And I was like, this is amazing. And this did not come about via hello, guy from Joywave, would you like to do a Panera? It was, hello, influenced by Daniel. We'd like to collab with you on a Panera Bread sponsored post. And I was like, absolutely, I would love to do this. And then they sent me paperwork and I said, guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but I can't do paperwork for a $30 Panera gift card. So I didn't do it. I think I still posted about Panera bread, but I don't think I ate any food to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do the paperwork either. Who do you want to
No.
work with most?
What'd you say?
Which brand do you want to work with the most?
Oh my God.
Moderna.
Moderna. Yeah. I think Moderna. Yep. That's a good call.
Wow. I mean, that's a big loss for Pfizer, but
Well,
I get it.
I mean,
I'm
honestly,
open.
we got Tums. Tums is like our number
do
one
love
thing.
We did get
Where do you
Tums.
go after?
Oscar Mayer would
After
be
that.
sick.
After you've been eating hot dogs all day.
There was one I posted. It was like a Jack Link's jerky or something, and I was like, out here feeding my wild side today. And then someone commented and was like, that's not real jerky. I make real jerky. And I was like, oh, I'd love to
Sample your wares.
I'd love to see the jerky. So this person sent me jerky, and it was reasonably good, but it was like peak 2020 chaos, where I was just like, okay, I need to give my fake social media career a rest for a couple months, and then I forgot to post about the jerky, but
You ate
I
internet
really look
jerky.
up that jerky.
But yeah, you ate it's like some just from like an internet person?
Yeah, they sent me jerky, and I trusted it and ate it.
Yeah, that's I mean, you hear I don't know if you know about the pink sauce stuff that's going on right now, but it's fascinating. People eat it. That's
No,
great.
What's that?
Yeah, what's
Oh
that?
my gosh, the pink sauce, someone on TikTok started selling their pink sauce across the country, non-refrigerated. It had milk products in it. It was like spoiling and all that stuff. Just
I loved it.
people were trying it. Yeah, I was looking at your TikToks earlier.
What was on there?
Yeah.
So I think the first one that comes up is where you guys are talking about how a bunch of people just left because you played your Euphoria song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds right. Did you see the one where we have a cover band, a joywave cover band open for us?
No, I
Oh,
didn't. I'm about to go look at it.
Yeah.
Did that throw a lot of people off?
No, I think people liked it.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's just extra joywave songs, right? So like,
That's-
what's not to like? You're at the joywave concert.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should start taking questions from the audience. If you guys
I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh no, this is all. I mean, we're taking questions from the written-in audience, but do you want to take questions from like the audience live?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So we'll wait for them to raise their hands, but while we wait, there are still questions coming in. What was the inspiration behind traveling?
Man, that is the oldest song I think still in the set by a lot, but yeah, it's like this phenomenon of like kind of the Peter Pan effect of being a musician or being in a band for a long time, of like people kind of like grow up and get jobs and have kids and stop going to concerts and start doing we'll classify it as like real life adult things, and then somebody else shows up in the audience and takes their place, and just the realization that like the years go by and the audience changes, and me, Paul, and Joey are still on stage playing the song. And it's turned out to be true like 5 times over since we wrote it. So
I love that. So we're gonna bring up the first person, Innocent Top Hat. Innocent Top Hat, can you hear us? Hello?
hi.
You have
Hi.
the floor.
You're on with the band. Do you have a question?
Innocent top hat.
Innocent.
Not so innocent.
I guess not. Okay.
Innocent top hat.
Okay, well that's okay. I'm bringing up 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's me. And so we'll okay. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's me. Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. You're on with the band.
Hi.
Awesome. Hi. I'm super excited. I'm going to see you guys in a couple weeks in Chicago. So I was wondering about what inspired you to use all your Disney samples in your songs and how you acquired those. I had also heard that you were one of the first bands to do that. I don't know if that's true or not.
Great question. That's extremely true. So what happened is so I did a collab song called Dangerous. And that started to do really well on the internet and started getting played on like K-Rock and some of like the big Sirius XM alt nations, some of the big like alternative stations. And at the same time, our song Tongues started to do well online. And basically nothing had ever gone right for me, Paul, and Joey in the music space in our whole lives. And everyone at every record label had said no to us like 10 times over. And then this moment comes where all these people we had talked to over the years kind of come back around. They're like, let's talk about that record deal, guys. And we were like, well, we already like did the work of like getting people to like it. Like now things are, working. So we had basically these like two offers that we were considering. One was from this like small Brooklyn indie label, and the other was our label that we're still with, Hollywood Records, which is owned by Disney. And we were kind of wary at first of the idea of signing with Disney because it's like a big mega corporation, and we kind of felt like the expected move for a band like us would be the Brooklyn indie label route. And I remember asking the president of the company, like, if we sign here, can we sample the Disney films? And he was like, yes, you can do that. We'll make that happen. And that was one of the deciding factors for us, where we were like, that's a really cool thing to be able to do. And of course, like the whole record is these songs that I wrote in this like post-college era of thinking that life was going to be one thing, and I was still sleeping in the same twin bed in my childhood bedroom that I'd had since I was like 5 years old. So we kind of loved the nod to being a kid, basically, that brought.
I love that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You. Okay, we're bringing next person on stage, Rockstar Green 888. I know, it's quite a name. Rockstar, can you hear us?
I sure can.
Awesome.
Hi.
I gotta ask you guys. I know I love Destruction. I just turned it on for my girlfriend, and she just knew right away. You do that with Big Data, is that right?
Dangerous is the song we did with Big Data. Destruction is a chaos breed all our own.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because is that a remix? I just want to ask you because that's one of my favorites. I listen to 91.3. It's my favorite radio station, and they basically nobody else played you.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Was
Nobody.
that sorry?
And they still don't. Like that. That's why I listen so much. I mean, we do have a new one. It's called Sonic or something like. They changed over 104.9, and there's a chance that they probably will play you because they're pretty all over the place. But
nice.
91.3 is your station.
What city
here in British Columbia, anyways.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Oh, well, okay. You've touched on an excellent topic, which is being an American band and trying to get any traction in Canada. And I have to say this carefully because I understand why the laws exist, but I don't remember if they're called like.
Oh yeah, it's like it's content control. Like it's like the movies up here. It's got to be commercials. Carry on.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So basically, like it's 65% or maybe it might even be 70% of the broadcast content in Canada has to be of Canadian origin or made by Canadians. So the really big American bands get played in Canada still, but like a mid-sized band like Joywave basically gets replaced with a Canadian band. So it's it's cool that there was any station there that played us at all. And I'm a big hockey fan. I consume a lot of Canadian media, probably more than the average American. So it's always annoyed me that we haven't been able to get traction in Canada. And we're from Rochester, so we're right across Lake Ontario. You know, we went to Canada as kids. At one point, there was a fast ferry connecting Toronto to Rochester. But yeah, so I guess you know, call the station and ask them, or start protesting Parliament, telling them that we want joywave in Canada.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that anymore.
Well, yeah, I can't help with that. I'm sorry.
We want to be
I appreciate your answer, because it's like the elaboration that you were able to go into was exactly kind of what I was trying to touch base on, because I practically only listen to 91.3. I mean, it basically, but it's actually hard to tune into it sometimes because of the frequency. It comes and goes depending on where you are. But I mean, I just want to say that I actually that is one of my favorite songs by far.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Rockstar. And I love that you are a fan of, you know, Canadian stuff. I'm a big Degrassi fan myself. So
Oh, nice. Well, they're not fans of us, so it's kind of a one-way thing.
well, I don't blame them. So we have someone in the comments who said, in the song After Coffee, you mentioned turning on Nintendo. Their question is it NFL Blitz or Zelda?
Zelda.
The Nintendo guys are sitting next to me. So.
Zelda.
Yeah, I used to play the EA NHL games. That's kind of about it for me. I play some of the Mario games. But these
I was gonna say the
are,
only sports games I play are the Mario sports ones.
yeah, and these guys were. I mean, what did you play during the pandemic?
What did I play during the pandemic? What didn't I play is a better question. That was a long pandemic.
I played a lot of old games too. Like,
I bought a lot of Lego during the pandemic.
Lego games? Legos.
Yeah, just like Lego sets. Yeah.
Any good ones?
Too many. I've got like a whole office setup of Lego now. I don't even know what to do with them. I've got the typewriter, the globe, the ship in a bottle, Daily Bugle.
Is the plural Lego? Am I saying it wrong? Am I saying Legos?
Adding
like
the S,
pennies?
right? Adding the S is incorrect, but everyone does it. It's not like anything to correct. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I just wanted, not sound dumb talking after you in an interview. Saying Legos and you're saying Lego.
Well, it's they mean the same. I wouldn't hold it against you.
I will. Have you seen the new Office Lego set?
Yes, I did. It's really cool.
It is really good. They have the Jello and the stapler. And
yeah, there's so many awesome little Easter eggs.
definitely, I want it. Also, if you go on like one of those like off-brand like AliExpress, DHgate websites, they have like the really off-brand ones, so everything's just like a little bit different. In case you're a collector.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let me bring the next person up. We have Mr. Face.
Mr. Face.
Yeah, Mr. Face. Mr. Face, can you accept the invite?
I think I'm in.
Oh, perfect.
Sweet.
Great, you're on with the band.
All right, so I have two quick questions. The first and most important is, are you keeping the hot dog roller?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
It still works.
I mean, I took it home and put it in my kitchen after tour.
All right, and the other is, what is your favorite project you've made and why is it Swish?
It's Swish because I just love the discovery of it. Every couple of weeks you'll see a tweet of somebody very confused. I've had this Joywave album on, and it took me 4 songs to realize that it's all the same thing, and it's really fun. I mean, we released that at a time where Destruction was the 4th single from our first record, How Do You Feel Now? And everyone told us, like, oh, fourth singles are really hard from records, like it's basically not a thing, so temper expectations, all the stuff. And we're like, this is like one of the best songs ever written. And so we decided to make it the first single from our new album Swish, which is, of course, just basically has destruction on it like 10 times. So it was a fun thing to do and confused the hell out of so many people. But I always think of our band as like building 1-inch walls. And some people like that and some people don't. Like, everyone is welcome, but you have to step over the 1-inch wall. And if that ask is off-putting to you, then this band might not be for you.
I like that. And you did throw everybody a bone with Life in a Bubble I Blew, at least. But
yes,
that was great.
the cheese at the end of the maze.
Thank you, Mr. Face.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have some more questions from the chat. They would like a Lego Joywave set, just so you know.
I'm not really a Lego guy, so Paul would design it.
Okay.
Yeah, Joey says no.
We had a fan made like a Lego set of Joywave performing live years ago.
Did we? Oh, I think was that early in the pandemic, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, I think someone built the
It
set
was really
the tour
cute.
was canceled. Yeah.
It was well done too, and they like paid attention to details and stuff, but it was all like custom made. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to be like as famous as The Office or like Queer Eye, to have our own set.
To get our Lego set
Pretty soon.
So soon. Yeah, very
Probably
soon.
next record.
I would say right now. I mean, you're here talking to me. So.
You're right.
Okay, so what was the writing process for Mr. Eastman? That's from Shrekomedia.
Really, 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 really high.
You know what? That was I think that was the first time that like we recorded a song where people smoked for, well, I guess except for Paul.
Paul's the exception, but like
Paul's the exception in that he's always smoking to be.
But most of us are not. And I remember that one in particular. We were like, you know what? Let's try this.
I think I had the demo of it, like Content era. Like I think that I had toyed with the idea of including it on Content, and then I don't know, it just felt different than Content, I guess. So we saved it for Possession. But yeah, was that, or was Blank Slate the one where it was Mr. Eastman?
No,
okay.
Blank Slate was that was the bridge that was never released.
Yeah.
But we were completely sober for that one.
Okay, yeah. That was a really interesting recording process for Possession. That was the first time where we were all in the room all the time for I did the vocals separate and cleaned things up and did some like extra production things after the fact. But like the tracking of instruments, it wasn't like, okay, Joey, come over and we'll do the guitar. It was like we were all there the whole time. And so much of Possession ended up being these little like making each other laugh things where we were like, well, we're gonna have to keep that now.
Yeah.
And there's so many silly sounds on the record because of that, which it's fun.
Well, I can't wait for the behind the music episode on that. Sounds great. But now that you've mentioned Possession, Last Fire would like to know how you think Cleanse would have been different if you had toured Possession. If you think there's a change at all.
I don't know. Like Cleanse is like, outside of the song Buy American, I think Cleanse is probably more well, I don't, maybe that's not fair. I guess like I'm not sure. Like Cleanse is definitely, I think, more organic than Possession. Like there's songs on Possession where it's like why would you bring that into the live arena? Like it just like doesn't belong because it's like a studio exercise or like a something so off the wall like Who Owns Who that's never gonna get played live. And Cleanse is like, I think Cleanse is probably like more consistent than Possession is, like less all over. I like to think that Cleanse would have happened either way, but maybe the lyrical content would have been different. I think the first 3 records are all a lot complainier than Cleanse is, and without the moment of like the forced time home away from touring, I don't think that we probably would have had a record like as grateful lyrically as Cleanse.
I think that makes sense. That was a great answer.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how to say it. What's the story behind Beetlejuice?
Oh man, that took a second to even consider. That's from our 2011 mixtape. We made the 77777 mixtape because, I mean, we, sitting in the basement at my parents' house where I still lived at that point, and trying to make anything to like connect or like reach beyond Rochester, and that song samples a Mike Snow song. Yes. And it samples there's like an LCD sound system sample in it too, I think. Yeah, and the whole thing is like, I think I said this in we did like a chat on our Discord, which exists for those who are Discord users last week about this. I think the whole mixtape we did in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Like it took a fraction of a time of an original Joywave record because it's so sample heavy, and you're putting lyrics over the top, but the whole thing is this like fictional space odyssey. And then there's the 88888 mixtape, which is this like spy story kind of, but like those are works of fiction and are kind of exercises versus like our records, which are like extremely personal and take a lot of time, and there's a focus to them.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you listening to now?
Podcasts.
Okay, which ones?
I usually listen to The Daily. I listen to mostly hockey podcasts. I listen to Puck Soup. I enjoy that a lot. I listen to 32 Thoughts. There's a Buffalo Sabres podcast called Maintenance Day that I really like. And there's a new episode today. Oh my God. I need to make sure I listen to that after this. What are you guys listening to?
I'm on a big podcast thing right now as well because it's like peak baseball season. But as far as music goes, I try to I've been getting into record collecting lately, so I'm trying to only listen to what I buy to make it so that I can focus more on that as opposed to just putting something on in the background. And the last record I bought was Peter Gabriel's Melt.
It's a good one.
Good record.
Yeah.
Lastly,
I'm big into mysteries of the unknown type podcasts, whether it be like,
you were into lore for a minute.
Yeah, like everything from lore to like, My Favorite Murder to like there's like this Parcast series that I've been into a lot lately. And they just have like creepy stories, legends, cryptid stuff, you name it.
I'm a big My Favorite Murder fan, so I'm with you on that. If you're looking for a very good podcast, Sweet Bobby is insane.
Okay.
FYI. It's about catfishing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah. It's
It's very long
really
ahead of us at the end of the month, so
true.
we'll have to check it.
Music All Day would like to know if you partook in the pierogies at the Warsaw in Brooklyn.
Oh no! Remember that venue we played?
Oh yeah, it's like a right. It's like a Polish.
Yeah, we did not eat there because it was like sometimes in New York and LA we have a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there were pierogies at all.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
Well, sorry, music all day. They did not.
Opportunity.
There's a question about how you feel being hometown heroes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well,
I don't think that's for you to say.
Yeah. Well, okay. If we're accepting the premise, it feels great. People are generally very nice to us here, and people are, I think, very respectful. Like, if I'm shopping at Wegmans or something, I think generally if someone walks by me, they say like, "Hey man, cool music," and then that's like the extent of it. Like they're usually like, "Oh, they're doing something," which is cool, and people are respectful and kind without like, being like, I mean, because sometimes I don't know, I don't have any complaints. I guess I know sometimes like people are like, "Can I take a picture?" and that's always fine. But usually I think people don't even do that. They just like say something nice and then move on, which is great. Like they like accept that we're here and we're supposed to be here, and they're like, I think largely like protective of us too, which I think is really great. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I think we're out of time, but do you want to tell people where they can find you and a little bit more about your tour coming up?
Yeah, we've got a tour that starts August 25th to September 25th. It's everywhere in the U.S. except the Northeast because there were some scheduling conflicts. And I know some people saw the dates and were bummed and thought that we were deliberately leaving it out. We're
Sorry.
We obviously live in the Northeast and like it here. So we wish we were doing that. And hopefully we will again soon. Tickets are on sale now. For that, you can follow us at I think it's just at joywave on most of the socials. The new live record Live is out now. Our fourth record Cleanse is out now. And if you live in the UK or EU, check back tomorrow for an announcement about a potential tour, hypothetically.
Like that. Didn't give too much away.
Right.
Well, thank you for joining us. I had a great time. I hope that you guys did too. And yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Awesome.
Please come back anytime.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.